Roman J. Israel Esquire is the name of a movie starring Denzel Washington. And yes, that is a horrible name for a movie, but it is a character's name, and they couldn't think of anything else to call the movie, so there you go.
Everybody looking at you crazy.
Roman Israel, we'll talk about what to expect if you are arrested.
We're gonna rap. I don't mean hip hop. I'm sorry. Why are the sisters standing and the brothers sitting?
That's gendered and sexist.
And polite.
And patronizing.
And polite.
So I went to see this movie because I have a movie pass, and I wanted to get out and go see a movie, and this was playing, and I found it odd because no one that I follow has reviewed it. Like, I haven't seen reviews for it anywhere. And I was curious because I mean, it's in Denzel Washington. But I mean, I can see why, because it's not a very good film. It's very boring and it's way too long. And it's just about nothing. Like, I mean, it's so weird, some of the stuff that happens. Like, I mean, some stuff is all kind of preachy, and some stuff is really well done with, like, with him trying to be, like, a civil rights lawyer, kind of, where he's, like, you know, going after how the inequality between, you know, all the factory judicial system, where if you don't have the money for a lawyer, they threaten you with a huge sentence, so you plead guilty even if you didn't do anything. And there's a part towards the end where, like, that's what he wants to do, but then that's not what the movie's about. Like, he has this case that he wants to, you know, change how law is done in the USA, and like that's how the movie ends, kinda. But I would rather have seen a movie about that, like going after that. I think it would have been more interesting. But in this, it takes forever to get to the actual plot of the movie, like over an hour. Like you see in the trailer, you see a thing like with that he is gonna be a lawyer for a guy. But then they're going to give up the where this person is, that this murderer, and that he kind of turns them in for $100,000 reward. And that's like, oh, then there's drama because the guy knows who he did it. Oh, no. And that part of the movie is a small part. Like, and then too, whenever it does happen, for a while, it's just like, instead of, he kind of just goes on a spending spree, and it's like, it's weird. Probably the oddest thing, though, about that plot point is, right after he does this, and takes the money, and kind of breaks everything he believes, he also gets a new job, which would be paying a lot of money, it seems like. And I mean, $100,000 isn't that much money in today's world. And that's the other thing, too. For a while, I wasn't sure when this movie took place. That's probably partially because his character is kind of, doesn't have a lot of money. It's kind of bad. Like, he dresses kind of old style, and he doesn't have a flip phone, and has an iPod. But it's like, I was like, when is this movie? I still don't know. I guess it's the present. And but it's stuff like, he goes on a spending spree and he gets a new apartment, and it's like, and the guy that talks to him is like, oh, you get a new apartment? Like, yeah, but like this apartment, it would cost at the very least $100,000 a year, probably more than that. I mean, it's an apartment in California, and it's like gorgeous. Like, it's not a cheap apartment. I don't know how much it would actually cost, but I mean, that $100,000 would be disappearing pretty quickly. And like the biggest thing he does with some money is he buys some suits so that he'll fit in more at work, where they give him a really cool job, and like he could do what he wants to do, and they get a lot of money for it too. But like, it's just weird. It's like he didn't need to break everything he stood for, like, for that $100,000. And the other thing too is like, they make it seem like that was so bad. And yeah, he broke the confidentiality, but what he did, he was bringing justice to a murderer. And like, it was so odd. Like, if you're gonna have something so bad, it should have been worse. Like, should have been maybe someone that didn't murder someone. Like, because I mean, he almost kind of did the right thing, except maybe he shouldn't have taken the reward money. Like, I mean, the thing of the right thing to turn the guy in. And related to this is my second biggest problem with the movie, and that is this guy that murdered the cashier. That this whole plot is so poorly written. Like, I mean, it's like maybe the first draft of a script, because it doesn't make any sense. This guy, first of all, he has a friend, and the friend like knows him, but like he knew he had a gun, but he didn't know he was planning to kill anyone. And it doesn't seem like this guy is in a gang, because his mother kind of loves him and wants to help defend him. And he, when he's in prison, he wants to rat on the guy to get a lighter sentence. I mean, if he was in a gang, he would know that snitches get stitches, and he would completely keep his mouth shut. But it just doesn't really work there. And then this guy that is like just a gangbanger, like if he just randomly would shoot a cashier and try to rob a store like that, he is not a big deal in a gang. But this guy is like the kingpin from Daredevil, because he can get someone in jail and have him murdered. Then he can like find this Roman Israel guy and hire him, which is a special lawyer, and then like threaten him and I'll have all these stuff follow him and how is this guy doing this? Is he like the kingpin? Like, how is he doing any of this? It doesn't make sense. It seemed like he was just a random thug, but then now he is a mastermind. It just doesn't make any sense. The biggest redeeming quality of this movie is Denzel Washington. I mean, he cannot be a bad actor. Like, he will act, amazingly in whatever he's in. And he does, in this one, he's great. I mean, some of the stuff is a little over the top, but he's really good. His dialogue is pretty good. That's it's funny that the dialogue for other characters is pretty mediocre, and the actual story is a piece of shit. But his dialogue is good, and the acting is great. And, if you like Denzel, I mean, you may enjoy some of this movie. But as a whole, it's just a mess of a movie that I'm surprised actually got released like this. Like, I'm surprised they didn't try to tighten it up a bit, because it's overly long, and, so much stuff could have been cut out of it. And I really think I didn't really care about any of the drama stuff. Like, it would have been more interesting to have him be a lawyer and have him going after and trying to change how we're abusing the system. But it's just not a good movie. I wouldn't recommend it. I give it a 6 out of 10. But thanks for watching. Check out other replays that are in my head, or subscribe to me over here.